Jack Della Maddalena just shocked the world at UFC 315, but his coach just did something even crazier. He called Dagestani wrestling fake. Yeah, he said that. Let's talk about what's really going on behind the scenes of this brewing super fight with Islam Makhachev. Just moments after Jack Della Maddalena was crowned the new UFC welterweight champion at UFC 315. Talk immediately turned toward a blockbuster champion versus champion clash with lightweight kingpin Islam Makhachev. Maddalena earned the belt by outpointing Belal Muhammad in an instant classic, a 5-round war that is already being called a Fight of the Year contender. The Australian striker stayed composed under pressure, neutralized Muhammad's wrestling-heavy game plan, and landed the cleaner, more damaging strikes throughout the bout. The aftermath of UFC 315 has quickly taken on a new dimension. Maddalena didn't wait long to stir the pot, sending a message to Makhachev during his post-fight interview. Come get it. He also stated that he's aiming to avenge fellow Australian and featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski's losses to Makhachev, given the potential fight added emotional and national stakes. Islam Makhachev, who successfully defended his lightweight title for the third time by defeating Renato Moicano at UFC 311, has expressed interest in moving up to 170 pounds in pursuit of double champ status. He wasted no time firing back at Maddalena online, posting, "Keep my belt clean," signaling he's fully on board for a potential welterweight title bid. Adding intrigue to the potential showdown is the timing and location. The UFC may aim to capitalize on both fighters' global appeal, especially Maddalena's Australian roots, by booking the bout in Perth or during a return to Abu Dhabi later this year. The stakes are massive. Not only would it be a rare champion versus champion clash, but would also pit two of the UFC's most dominant forces in a high-stakes stylistic battle. Maddalena's elite striking and growing takedown defense versus Makhachev's world-class grappling and sambo pressure. If you're loving this breakdown and want more real-time updates on this super fight, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. Team Maddalena or Team Makhachev? Let's see where you stand. In true fight build-up fashion, the trash talk surrounding a potential Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev super fight has already gone beyond the athletes, with Maddalena's grappling coach, Craig Jones, launching the first real verbal strike from the challenger's camp. Jones, one of the most respected and outspoken Brazilian jiu-jitsu minds in MMA, took to Instagram shortly after UFC 315 to troll Makhachev and, more broadly, the Dagestani style of wrestling and sambo that has dominated the lightweight division for years. In his post, Jones wrote, "The one thing every Russian man fears. Sambo is literally just two judo guys that decide to take their pants off to wrestle, which I respect. Sambo and wrestling once again proved to be fake. Islam Makhachev, while clearly tongue-in-cheek, the comment struck a nerve within the MMA community, poking fun at the very foundation of Makhachev's dominance. Sambo, the Soviet-originated martial art combining elements of judo and wrestling, is considered the bread and butter of many Dagestani fighters, including Khabib Nurmagomedov and Makhachev. Calling it fake, even sarcastically, is a bold move designed to rile up Makhachev and his fan base while hyping up the fight. Craig Jones' confidence isn't unfounded. His grappling expertise played a major role in Maddalena's preparation for UFC 315. Under Jones's tutelage, Maddalena showcased vastly improved takedown defense, stuffing the majority of Belal Muhammad's shots and forcing the fight to remain a striking contest where he thrives. It's clear Jones and Team Maddalena are already strategizing for Makhachev's ground-heavy approach, and they're willing to go the extra mile to get inside his head before contracts are even signed. This early gamesmanship also helps set the tone for what could be one of the most anticipated fights of the year, a clash not just between champions, but between martial arts ideologies, Dagestani sambo and relentless chain wrestling versus modern BJJ and elite anti-wrestling striking. Belal Muhammad entered UFC 315 with a wave of momentum, riding an 11-fight unbeaten streak, having defeated elite names like Leon Edwards via decision at UFC 304, Gilbert Burns, and Stephen Thompson. But when the lights were brightest, the newly crowned welterweight champion couldn't hold off the surging Jack Della Maddalena, who took his belt in a hard-fought 5-round thriller in Montreal. In his first public statement following the loss, Muhammad posted a brief but determined message on X, formerly Twitter. "I'll be back." The message, while short, echoed his reputation for grit and resilience. But despite the respect Muhammad commands in the MMA world, the performance has drawn considerable criticism, especially for his apparent reluctance to engage in grappling exchanges, an area many expected him to dominate. UFC middleweight contender Robert Whittaker was among the high-profile voices questioning Muhammad's approach, saying he didn't fight to his strengths against a striker like Maddalena. It was a surprising strategic choice, considering that wrestling and relentless pressure are hallmarks of Muhammad's success. Instead, he allowed Maddalena to dictate the pace and range for much of the fight, although the scorecards were competitive. With two judges having it tied going into the fifth, Muhammad faded late, absorbing heavy shots that sealed a win for Maddalena. The loss snapped Muhammad's 11-fight unbeaten run and marked his first defeat since 2019. With the welterweight title now of his hands, his road back to the top begins again. The UFC may look to pair him with fellow contender for his next bout, and a rematch with Sean Brady is already generating buzz. Brady, another grappling-heavy fighter, was previously scheduled to fight Muhammad before injury derailed the matchup. A win there could potentially fast-track Muhammad back into title contention. For now, though, all eyes on the newly crowned champ and the possible incoming storm that is Islam Makhachev, while Muhammad plots his comeback from the sidelines. This is more than just a title fight. It's a battle of styles, camps, and countries. If the UFC makes it official, it could be one of the biggest fights of the year. So don't miss a beat. Like, comment, and subscribe to MMA Thread for all the latest updates leading into this massive clash.